and welcome to all the imagination agents out there. We are thrilled to have you join us today for a super special event with the one and only Brad Montague. Brad is extra incredible when it comes to using his imagination. He creates amazing stories, videos, and all kinds of cool stuff to inspire and uplift people of all ages. Today, he is here to share some of his secrets with you. But we're not here just to talk to Brad. We want to also hear from you. That's right, you out there. We would love for you to be part of the action. So we're inviting all of the amazing students out there. Please, please, please submit your questions to Brad in the chat. You heard that right. We want to hear from you. So whether you're curious about Brad's creative process, his favorite books or hobbies, or maybe you just want to know what his favorite pizza topping is, now is your chance to ask. So get ready. We want you to also unleash your own creativity as we join in together for a fun-filled, energy-packed event with Brad Montague. Let's show the world what imagination agents are made of. Get ready, friends. Let the countdown begin.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome. My name is Ann Cosma, and I am so excited to be your host for today's event with Brad Montague. I hope you're all feeling energized and ready to explore the world of imagination with us. Before we bring Brad on, I want to give a big shout out to all the incredible students out there. We have students from all over, thousands of classrooms joining in. Wow. Hello to our friends in Florida, Ohio, Brookside Elementary second graders. We see you in Lake Forest Park, Washington. New York, Kansas, Arizona, Ms. Oso's class from New Jersey. Hello. We have friends in Egypt watching right now, Alaska, Minnesota, Canada. And of course, we have a very special shout out today with some first graders in Ms. Adrian's class in Stafford, Virginia. Hello, Ms. Adrian's class. Friends, we are so excited that you all are joining us. So whether you're tuning in from a classroom, your living room, or even the other side of the world, we are so glad you're here. You all are imagination agents in your own right, and we can't wait to see what kind of questions and ideas you have for Brad today. So without further ado, let's have a virtual round of applause and get ready to welcome the one and only Brad Montague. Hello, Brad! Brad, are you out there? Friends, oh, there he is.
Hi.
Welcome, how are you?
This is really happening? It's you,
This is
Ann.
happening. We're so excited
There's
you're here. How
thousands
are
of
you?
students all over the world watching. I'm so
gosh.
happy to be.
There are folks tuning in from around the world, Brad, and we are so excited to be able to spend this time together with you. I think we also might have a video we're going to be showing, but we're going to start, Brad, and just jump right in. Are you ready for this? I am so excited for today's event.
Very. I can't wait. There's so many amazing students watching. Let's do this.
So, folks who are tuning in, you already know that Brad has inspired us for years. He's given us a guide to being awesome. He's also helped us learn and rediscover the magic of becoming better grown-ups. Brad, you've also encouraged us to build community and consider the circles all around us. And now you are challenging us with all new ways to imagine, to dream, and do in the fantastic Bureau of Imagination. And it is such an honor to get to spend some time with you. And I want to jump into some of those questions so everybody who's watching today can get to know you a little bit better. Are you ready for this?
I think so, yes.
Okay, so these books have inspired me personally in my classroom, communities around the world, and folks of all ages who are tuning in. But I want to know who in your life, was it a person, was it an experience, perhaps in your childhood, that influenced or sparked your imagination and the creativity you have inside?
Oh, it's a very good question. I love that. I've always loved books. I've always loved drawing. I loved comics. I know a lot of kids who love to read graphic novels. I always loved to read books and read comics, but I never knew I could actually make a book or make comics. It was my fourth grade teacher who's the person who said, "Hey, you're very creative. I know you like to read. Did you know you could actually make a book? You could make a comic." And so I did. And she helped me put them in the school newspaper. And it was such a huge deal for me that when my first book came out, I dedicated it to her, to Miss Debbie.
Oh my goodness, that is so cool. So all the fourth graders out there listening in, you heard about Brad's experience and that first book dedication. That is so special. So the new book, Brad, The Fantastic Bureau of Imagination, where did the idea come from and why now?
It's the kind of book I've wanted for so long. I've been thinking about it for a very long time, but I wasn't sure how to tell the story. I love creativity, making things, imagining big worlds. And then we have a Federal Bureau of Investigation. We have these spies. What if there's a group who helps make big ideas happen and helps people find ideas and create things in the world? And I've done a lot of things like with Kid President and other projects that were, encouraging people to change the world. But we can't change the world until we've imagined a better world first. So I wanted to create something that invited me and everybody around me. I could go around tapping people on the shoulder going, "Hey, you're an agent of imagination. Let's dream up a better world together. Let's do it." So that's where the idea came from. And then I got to build a whole world of characters and dream puppies, these little dogs that fly and help chase down dreams. And now I get to help kids know and former kids that we can imagine a better world. Better tomorrows begin with what you will imagine today.
I love that. Better tomorrows begin with what you can imagine today. Brad, we're going to toss to a movie that's going to cue us up for the next part, but it's going to follow through right on that very thought about what we do today, what we dream, and what we do can inspire tomorrow. Let's roll that video.
Hey, you. If you are receiving this transmission, it is not by accident. You are needed immediately as a junior agent at the Fantastic Bureau of Imagination. The time has come to invite millions of children, former children, and even dogs and cats. Sure, whatever. It's just we need more agents. Agents of imagination. Do you believe in make-believe? Do you want to imagine a better tomorrow? Well, it starts today. For the first time, we are declassifying certain materials from the Bureau of Imagination. We've enlisted 2 humans to create a book. They're a New York Times bestselling duo. Ow, ow. And we need your help getting this book out and into the hands of as many future agents as possible. A reimagined world depends on it. This book has everything, guys. Lots of different kinds of figments. The dragon, nouns, verbs, even adjectives. So make yourself a homemade badge and let's get to work. Dare to dream, but please also do. For dreamers are many, but doers are few. A fantastic Bureau of Imagination. Coming soon, thanks to you.
That's pretty epic, Brad.
Thanks, Ann. You're in. You get to be an agent too. I need you.
Oh my gosh. Well, the world needs to hear this message, and I know you are bursting with ideas and fun stuff to share with all of the awesome kids and kids at heart out there who are listening in. So, we can't wait to hear more about how you come up with your cool stories, how you make your stories come alive. And rumor has it, you have that call to action and you are sharing a special mission for all of the imagination agents watching today. And so before we dive in, I just want to tell folks, maybe have some paper ready, drawing tools ready, definitely have your ears ready to listen. And Brad, I think it's time for folks to buckle up. Any advice you have for folks listening in before we crank it over to you?
Get your imaginations ready because I want to share a story. That work?
Yeah, we're ready.
Let's
Okay,
do it.
buckle up, folks. Brad, take it away. Let's hear that story. This journey I know is going to be filled with fun, adventure, and endless possibilities. I'm ready to listen.
So I'm so happy everybody's here today. No matter where you're tuning in from, this is amazing that we get to be here, right here, together. So thank you. This is my book, The Fantastic Bureau of Imagination. But it wasn't always a book. At first it was a little thing in my head, an idea. And then it started with a sheet of paper. Maybe you have a sheet of paper with you. I don't know. Maybe you've seen paper before and you've written things on paper. And I started to write the book on a piece of paper. Now, when I share this story with you, there's a couple of things I want you to look for. And one is you're going to see that this whole thing is covered in paper. All the little characters, they're made of paper. You can look closely and see there's different pieces of paper that they're made out of. And there's even something that's very important to the story I want you to look for. It's the cave of untold stories. And this cave of untold stories came when I wasn't sure exactly how to draw a cave. I had a cave that I was going to draw, and then I started to draw it, and it looked like this. It looks like I'm wearing a cave hat. This cave started to look like that, but it didn't look exactly like the way I wanted to. You'll see what it looks like in the book. You'll see that I started to draw it, and I drew it bigger. I drew a dragon, and then I kept drawing it. It just didn't look like the way I wanted to, so I crumpled up the drawing, and then I looked at the crumpled piece of paper. I uncrumpled it, and I realized, oh, this thrown away idea actually looks kind of neat, that I could take this drawing of a cave and we could add paper to it. And if I added paper to it, crumpled paper, suddenly this thrown away idea had brought an idea to life, which is exactly what the Cave of Untold Stories is about. You can see here that the paper that was crumpled up became a colorful cave full of ideas. So this is the story, The Fantastic Bureau of Imagination. Oh. Now, the first thing to know is that every song that's ever been sung, every piece of art that's ever been hung, every dream that's ever been dreamed, they all began in a place not so easily seen, the Fantastic Bureau of Imagination. Now, this year, I'll show you the figments going to work. It's morning. Welcome to the Fantastic Bureau of Imagination. I'm sure you'd like to see where all these figments are going. Would you like to see the inside? You'd like to see the outside of the building? They're headed to the secret headquarters. Well, sorry, you can't. It's classified. Humans are not allowed to see the outside of our secret headquarters. It's highly classified. You'll just have to imagine it. Now, lots of young humans have sent in art of what they think the Bureau's headquarters looks like, but they're always wrong. The Fantastic Bureau of Imagination is handled, their agency business is handled by curious little creatures known as figments. There's lots of different kinds of figments, as you can see here. We have figments of lots of different types with lots of different powers, just like there's lots of different young people watching this, listening to this, who all have different abilities and powers and skills. The figments are that way too. Every figment you'll meet here is a special agent at the Fantastic Bureau and wears the very official Bureau of Imagination badge. Now, meet a special figment named Sparky. Sparky is the figment responsible for all our mail here. Every letter, package, idea, or complaint coming in or out of the Fantastic Bureau of Imagination must pass through his office. As you can imagine, he's a very busy little figment. He's also very good at his job. But there's something the agents here do not know about him. It's this. Sparky loves poetry. He loves to write poetry. When not delivering the mail, he writes poems about brave figments throughout history. He writes about his dear friend, Rascal Dream Puppy. He writes about all the big feelings inside of him. He writes poems about how scary it would be to share his poems. You see, Sparky has never shared his writing with any figment or human, gnome, dragon, or bug ever. Instead, he throws himself into his very big, busy job. Now, life is busy for Sparky, as you've seen. He always starts the day by going down the official tubes, through the whooshcalator, and then he goes over the cave of untold stories. Just, it's not important. Brenda never gets mail, Brenda the dragon. And he makes delivery after delivery to the agents throughout the Fantastic Bureau of Imagination. Let's look at some of the offices he visits. This one's really fun. This is the Department of Dreams. They're always excited to see Sparky. His magic mailbag can carry dreams of all sizes. The figments at the Department of Noticing cheer every time Sparky appears. These agents are the ones who listen for wishes as they're made on birthday cakes, dandelions, or stars in the sky. Ideas from all over the world are delivered to the makery. The figments in this office can experiment and create samples of anything that can be imagined. One of Sparky's favorite days was when the agents created a plant that grew popsicles, a flying 1980 station wagon, and a rabbit with a beautiful singing voice. Sparky never leaves the makery without making a pickle sandwich. Busy figments have to eat, Now, I want to show you this. You get to see a glimpse. You can't see the outside of the Fantastic Bureau, but you can see some of the inside. Once all the mail is sorted, stacked, and delivered to each of the Bureau offices, Sparky goes through to all of them, and he sits, enjoys his sandwich, and writes a poem. At least, this is what he did every day until this day. On this day, Sparky went down the official tubes, through the whooshcalator, over the exploding cave of untold stories. Wait, exploding? Sparky froze. He had never spoken to Brenda the dragon. Each day he'd been secretly relieved that she did not receive mail. He was frightened by her teeth and her scales. He imagined she might eat him, or laugh at his hat, or laugh while eating him and his hat. Well, though very much afraid, surprising himself and even Rascal, he knew something had to be done. He dove down to help Brenda the dragon. Now, the cave of untold stories is overflowing, cried Brenda. The entire Bureau of Imagination could collapse. All the stories that have yet to be told in the world, all the songs that have not yet been sung, all the parties that have yet to be planned, all the problems yet to be solved, they're all pouring out. If only there were a way to let humans know, said the troubled dragon. Ideas are not just meant for having and holding, but for sharing and living and doing. Well, here's what happened. Sparky tried to put some of the cave pieces in his official bureau mail bag. Being a magic bag, it was able to hold more than most bags, but even it was not enough. He looked at all the wonderful things that had been imagined. Here's what he saw: beautiful symphonies, performances and plays, marvelous inventions, ideas for brightening days. All these wonders were just hiding away in a cave. As Sparky gazed at the mess, his eyes noticed something familiar. There, his eyes noticed, in the pile of possibilities, a large stack of poems that he recognized immediately. Here he is, right here. "Oh no," said Sparky. "Part of the problem is me." So Sparky realizes these poems have been there. Well, here's what he did. He flew immediately to his office and quickly began to write. And he wrote a poem. Can I read you the poem Sparky wrote? Well, here it is. "Hello, humans. We need you to be bold. There are too many stories that remain untold. There's still so many good things, and they haven't been done. Agents of imagination are needed, and you can be one. This is your invitation. Tell fear to get out of the way. Beautiful tomorrows can begin today. We must all dare to dream, but must also do. For dreamers are many, but doers are few." And then he signed it, "Imaginatively yours, Sparky." This poem, unlike his others, did not go in Sparky's stack of hidden notebooks. Sparky took the poem and asked the figments at the makery if they could create copies. His puppy, Rascal Dream Puppy, led a team of dream puppies to deliver the message wherever they could. And the message went out. Some humans found invitations under their pillows. Some humans found reminders in nature. Some humans found the message inside a picture book. Hang on. Wait a minute. That looks familiar. I've never noticed that in the book before. I guess it's a special flip moment for us. Wow. Thanks to a lot of imaginative and hardworking agents and dream puppies, Sparky's words found their way all over the world. Soon, untold stories were being shared, songs were being sung, dances were danced, problems were being solved, and the cave began to calm. And everyone gathered to celebrate 3 brave agents: a dragon, a dream puppy, and a little male figment. The heroes were each presented with the highest medal of honor an agent can receive. Their work added more imagination to the world and more agents of imagination too. Now, I want to share something with all of you. This is not in the book here. You'll see that in this illustration, this is what it started out as. And then here's what happens when you have really good teachers around you, really good friends. They said, hey, if they're having a party, you should have people at the party, right? They look lonely. And I was like, I'd have to imagine a whole bunch of friends that would be there. Well, you should do it. So here's what I had to do. The drawing started out this way. And then I said, well, let me draw 100 figments to join them. And I did. And I realized, wait, they were right. So I drew 100 additional figments, added them to it, and my imagination got bigger because of the people around me. And now in the finished book, you'll see there's 100 figments on that page. That's what happens when you have good people helping your imagination grow. Well, they all lived happily and imaginatively ever after until Sparky was eaten by Brenda. Brenda ate Sparky. Okay, just kidding. They all lived happily ever after. And here's the thing. You'll see here that Brenda is reading a poem. Sparky's sent her a poem every single day. And this one says, "We imagined things we couldn't see. We worked together and made them be. Maybe this is how the whole world mends. Wherever there is fear, let us imagine friends." Now, night falls at the Fantastic Bureau of Imagination. Apologies if you're still wanting to get a glimpse of the outside of the building, but it's classified, remember? Plus, it's much too dark to see it now. You'll just have to imagine there is light. And that's what a good agent does. So get to it. There's plenty of light left to imagine and dreams to make come true. Dream bright, brave agents. Dream and do. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. There's my little reveal. Brad, getting to hear you read this book is so special. But that call to action, dream and do. Now, I have taken the oath and I have joined the ranks, and I know you have great inspiration for folks. So, how can they do that? We're all feeling inspired to dream big and do, but what can we do? Give us some inspiration on what are some next steps.
So, Anne, you are incredible. You have a really big imagination and a really big heart. And there's all of these young people, all of these educators, all these people watching this right now, all over the world. We could imagine some really cool stuff right now. Now, some people, when I share the story, they're inspired and they want to make their own badge, which is a thing you could do. Like you could make your own badge and you could say, I'm going to imagine a better tomorrow today. And you start doing that. That would be really cool. Some people like to, think about their untold story that maybe is sitting in the cave of untold stories and they need to rescue it. Maybe it's a thing they need to dream up to do for somebody else. And this one's been really fun. Some young people have really enjoyed imagining what they think the headquarters looks like. I even have some right here that some students have sent me where they've imagined that maybe the bureau headquarters look like this or look like this. This is kind of cool. It's like a tree house, or they've imagined that it looks like this here, or there's rainbows and it's like a factory. I don't know what you might imagine it would be, but here's what I want to, since we have so many incredible people watching right now, I would like for you to dream up an answer to this sentence. This is a junior agent challenge. So we have some great agents watching this right now. This is your mission. And do you accept the mission? Are you ready for the mission?
Yes, yes, yes.
And we have all students watching. This is the junior agent mission right now. I'd like for you to finish this sentence. The world would be more awesome if blank. The world would be more awesome if. How would you finish that sentence? Go.
my goodness, there have been some beautiful, poignant responses in the chat, Brad. Some of the things we're seeing, goodness gracious, from things like donating food or helping others, bringing joy, sharing beauty, reading books together. This one was so special too. Sharing drawings, a beautiful way to use art and creativity, or sharing peace. We're seeing in the chat, if bad guys didn't exist, if everyone could help each other, if the story was real, if less people got sick, if there were rainbows every day, goodness gracious, the world would be so much more awesome. And you've inspired us and shared us. Can I ask you this question? What are some of your quick responses when you get asked what would make the world more awesome? How would you respond?
Yeah, well, sometimes if I'm hungry, I'll think like the world would be more awesome if I had a whole bunch of ice cream right now. The world would be more awesome if I had a bunch of pizza rolls. And then I start to think about, oh, if I'm hungry, maybe there's other people who might be. And I start thinking about the world would be more awesome if everybody had what they need. The world would be more awesome if we could all be friends and look at each other and appreciate each other and celebrate each other. I love thinking about that. And, just yesterday, I got a group of students who in Canada, they responded with the world would be more awesome if they were imagining a whole bunch of puppies, if pets had everything they need. So they did a pet supply drive that they were imagining, hey, what if every pet had what they need? And then they created it. And so they're actually doing this thing. It's just perfect. So you imagine if only this existed, and then get your people together and do it.
Okay, we have one more that just came in the chat. The world would be more awesome if there was more Brad Montague. Mrs. Rosenstein's class just said that. I agree. I agree. What a sweet sentiment. At Mrs. Rosenstein's class, I think you made him speechless. I agree. The world would be more awesome. So, Brad, thank you for challenging us and inspiring us to dream and do. And we're going to do something else right now that's really fun. Brad, we're going to get everybody ready for a selfie moment. So everybody out there, yeah, this is going to happen. You are going to get to take a selfie with the one and only Brad Montague. So folks, wherever you are, if you're in your classroom, your kitchen, your living room, in your schools, parents, teachers, friends, grab your cameras and get ready to take a picture and celebrate this moment today. We are all taking steps together to becoming imagination agents. And let's cue the music while you get set up. Cannot wait to see these pictures. Brad, that's going to be so much fun. And folks, we would love for you to share these pictures with us on social media by tagging us at Microsoft Flip. Of course, tag our good friend at the Brad Montague, and please tag our dear friends at Penguin Class. So, Brad, we do have a lot of questions that have come in, but we also have a couple video questions for you. And I want to roll and jump into that very first one. Let's roll the video.
Hi, my name is Sean, and I'm from Wichita, Kansas. And how do I know if I'm a good writer?
This is a great question. How do folks know if they are good writers?
That's a really good question. Thank you so much for that. Can I tell you something? You're all my friends now, so I can be honest with you. It's kind of a question I ask myself a lot. Like, am I a good writer? Is this any good? Well, does it even matter? Is it okay if I share this? Kind of like how Sparky the Figment's afraid to share his poem. But here's the thing. If you have something that you need to say, you're a writer. If you've ever written a thank you note or written an encouraging note to a friend, made art for somebody, you're an artist. If you have something that you need to communicate that makes the world a better place and invites people into something, you're a writer, and a good one, because you've said something that's from your heart that's going to go to a whole lot of other people's hearts. So all the people listening to this, you're writers, write. You're artists, art. We need you.
That is such a profound piece of advice. Thank you for sharing that. We do need everybody to share their voice, their creativity. So thank you for sharing that answer, Brad. Wow. Okay, so we have a video from a friend named Jasmine, and we're going to play that next.
Hi, my name is Jasmine. I'm from France. Do you have any tips for kids like me who want to write their own stories but don't know where to start?
Oh,
It's
great
a really
question.
good question.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
any tips for kids like Jasmine who want to write their own stories but don't know where to start?
Now, this seems like I'm just going to say something that seems very simple, but it's really not. It's just start. You just have to start. I'm actually working on a new picture book right now, and I don't know where it ends. I thought I did, but now I'm going, oh, it could be better if this happened. So sometimes you'll discover things. So if you don't know where to start, just start.
That's brilliant advice. If you don't know where to start, just start. I love it. Thank you. And that gives us another book from you to look forward to. Exciting to hear about that. Brad, we have a question for you from Florida, and we're going to play that video next.
Hi, my name is Layla from Florida. Can you give me some tips on how to train my imagination?
Layla, hello from Florida. Great question. Brad, tips on training your imagination.
That's very good. So training your imagination is actually a really good way to put it because, kind of like there's dream puppies in the story, you could chase down a lot of different dreams, but we want to think about chasing down the dreams that actually create a better, brighter world. And so imagining the best of things, it's a good exercise to think about how can I imagine the best in you and the other people around me. How can I imagine the best in me? And always looking for that. It helps you to help not just imagine it, but to see it and to be it. So keep working. It takes work to dream, to read things that furnish your imagination with good thoughts, and then to create them, to train that imagination.
I love it. That's the do part. Do it. Work. Keep going. I love that advice. Thank you. Okay, we have one more video from Faith in New York. Let's roll it.
Hi, I'm Faith from New York. If you could go anywhere in the world with just your imagination, where would you go?
Oh, Faith, this is an awesome question. Brad, if you could go anywhere in the world with just your imagination, where would you go?
Oh, wow. Faith. And I would go where I could see all of these students watching this. If there was some way to like zoom through all of them and fly through, that would be awesome. I'll tell you something I've been thinking about that I really want to see in person myself is a volcano. Never seen a real volcano in real life. I don't want to get too close, but I've imagined them so long that I think it's time I find one and see them.
Oh, that's a great adventure waiting to be happen. And when you get there, of course, stay safe. Don't go too close, right? Oh my gosh, Brad, it has been an absolute joy to get to take this incredible journey through the fantastic Bureau of Imagination with you. And we've learned so much about you, your ideas, and I know students out there are feeling more inspired than ever before. I want to ask if there's anything else you'd like to share with us, or final thoughts for all of the imagination agents listening in.
I have, I'm so grateful that you're here, and I've asked you to imagine a better world. I want you to know this, that the world is already better just because you're in it. And I'm so grateful you're there. If you do want to go deeper and imagine more stuff with your team, but you can ask, the world would be more awesome if. But here's 4 questions I've been asking students, and I love the answers. You can ask, I wonder who I could help. I wonder what they might need. I wonder who might team up with me. And I wonder how wonderful it could be. I wonder how wonderful it would be if you start asking some of these questions. I wonder who we could help as a class. I wonder who might help us. And, you don't just have to wonder about what they might need. You can ask them and you'll find out. And then you'll find there's a whole bunch of people ready for you to invite them into this wonderful mission with you. And that's exactly what it is. It's you wondering creates a more wonderful world. So I have one last thing I want everybody watching this to know, whether you're a kid or a former kid, I want you to know this. Don't hide your magic. Please share your gifts. Seeing you shine, it gives the whole world a lift. And it's okay for wizards to be quiet or shy, but hiding your magic is a crime, and here's why. The world needs to dazzle. We need what you've got. You might think that you're nothing, and really, you're not. You're more, much more. And it's time to be seen. You're more powerful than you can imagine, more loved than you can dream. So, if you feel less than, or that you don't count, or maybe your soul is all flooded with doubt, hey, remember, you are magic. You are prepared. And never forget, magic, well, it's meant to be shared. Don't hide your magic. Thanks, everybody.
Oh my gosh, friends. Wow. What an incredible message and encouragement from Brad. We are just so thankful for the time that he shared, his passion, the imagination, the creativity. It's been an absolute joy to spend this time together with him today. And I hope you all had as much fun as I did exploring all things imagination with Brad Montague. But guess what? The fun doesn't have to stop here. You can add Brad Montague's book, The Fantastic Bureau of Imagination, to your bookshelf. Simply visit aka.ms/Montague Books. And we know that reading this book will help us all not only dream, but also do. And for teachers out there, friends, you can head over to our Flip group where you'll find a place for your students to reflect on everything they've learned today, to submit those untold dreams, those stories, those ideas, and even reflect on those wonder questions. You can use this topic immediately. So definitely check that out at aka.ms/Brad Montague. You can use this immediately. And folks, please keep the adventures going. We'd love to have you join us for upcoming Flip events. You can check them out at aka.ms/Flip events to view our upcoming or even catch on-demand events available for you to watch anytime for free. Folks, what a day. I am so honored to have been able to host this. My name is Ann Cosma, and I just want to say on behalf of Flip, our friends at Penguin Young Readers, and our amazing guest, Brad Montague, thank you, thank you, thank you for joining us today. Dream big, let your imagination run wild, and remember that you make the world a more magical place. We'll see you out there next time, Imagination Agents. Bye.